right, looks like we are live. Welcome to the Drupal Media Team Weekly Scrum. It's July 15th US time, and we have our weekly Scrums every Tuesday morning in the US time, wherever that is in your time zone, every week. And we are thinking about doing an alternate time to helpfully maybe include some more people that aren't on the normal US time. But that's when we're meeting for now. So we're just going to give a quick update through everyone that's joined. And if you are not able to join the Hangout, we are more than welcome to have you come into the Drupal Media IRC channel. Did you lose my video still?
No, you're back.
Okay, all right. Cool. So yeah, if you want to join us, we're in the pound Drupal-media free node IRC channel. All right. I'll just kind of go through the personal updates, and then we'll go through the agenda. So for myself, I actually set up I noticed that Hackpad started a sign up for your own group functionality. So now then, rather than we actually have drupalmedia.hackpad.com for all our collaborative documents. So they're all just contained there, which is kind of much nicer than having them on hackpad.com along with everyone. And it's still free to join, and anyone can view them. They're public by default, which is nice as well. So I was thinking about switching to Google Docs, but I think we can keep with this for now. I think it's working great. So I signed up for that. I put up a sprint post about DrupalCon Amsterdam and made sure that we got linked on the Amsterdam website to that post ahead of time. I kind of copied and pasted the Austin sprint page that we had done, and I'm going to probably keep tweaking it, but I just wanted to make sure that we had a post to point to make sure that it got linked to, because we didn't get it linked to in Austin, even though we had a page. So I made sure to get that taken care of ahead of time. Our Drupal Media session got accepted at Amsterdam as well, and we're looking good for an extended sprint there at Amsterdam as well. That is it for me. Shandan, welcome to the Hangout. Do you want to update everyone with what you've been working on?
Yeah, sure. So I've been working on this entity embed module, so I'll probably just post a link here. So yes, so this is like the basic project page for the entity embed, and so this week majority of the work was done. We have a couple of roadblocks that we talked to Yaniv about today's meeting, but it's looking good. And the one basic thing that's remaining here is the integration with entity browser. So as soon as that's out, we'll probably be on to that.
Cool. Yeah, let us know if we can help with those blockers. I know testing probably is one of those that we're still not sure what we're going to use. So, sorry I missed the earlier hangout today.
Yeah.
All right. Giannis, go ahead and give your update.
Yeah, so I was off and spending some time in the mountains half of last week, so I didn't manage to do much. I was hoping to do some anti-browser progress, because this is my priority right now, but it turned out that I didn't. But I sorted out all stuff for Amsterdam, so I'm flying in Monday and I'm flying out Sunday, which means I can attend at least extended sprints after DrupalCon. Yeah, there's a sprint in Zurich next week, but I'm sure that Miro and Sasha will tell more about that.
I figured as well. Yeah. Cool. I'm glad you got some fun time in the mountains. That's important to have. So glad you enjoyed that.
I was flooded.
Okay. Flooded with mountains. Cool. Great. Kevin, you're up next.
All right, I wasn't able to do too much due to being crushed at work, but I did look over the basic architecture on that node for the entity browser. I need to go through it, a few more times to kind of get the grasp of it, but I didn't really see anything that jumped out as being a huge issue. So I should have a bit more time as I clear up some stuff at work this week to go through it a little bit more. And I did reach out to Time to see if I could speak to them again about trying to contribute some of the stuff that I wrote for their UI that we helped work on. I haven't heard anything back, but hopefully within the next few days I'll hear from them. And I still have on my schedule to talk to Willie about that with the LSD and speaking with Time and some of the other clients. So that's pretty much what I have. So hopefully I'll have more time this week to do some more things.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I've been pretty busy with client work too, with the big project recently.
Gotta pay the bills.
Yep.
It's one thing that I forgot. I was in touch with Australians, and they are, they are quite interested in this new approach to meetings, like alternating times, so they could be included in this. And we should probably start with that as soon as possible.
Okay.
Cool. From the other hand, I feel that maybe they will start losing, excitement about this, and we may lose them if we don't include them as soon as possible.
Okay, great. I will post a GDO post then with my proposal for how we change the meetups and just kind of announcing it. And I think I'll run it through the IRC and have people review it first.
Just to clarify, is this a change of time or is this an additional time to this one as well?
I think what we were looking at is alternating, so like one every other Tuesday, like meet this time, and then the next week and every other Tuesday meet like Tuesday evening U.S. time. So like if you can only attend this time, you are still able to participate every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that way we're not meeting too often, because that's just a lot to require people. And we give people an alternate time to join. I think that'll work well. So,
okay.
Just the onus is on me, on the organizer, to make sure that they remember to set up that alternating stuff. So that's the only hard part. Okay, great. We'll get that going. And thank you, Kevin, for your update. Sasha and Miro, what are you guys up to?
Yes. Well, we long planned to have that sprint next week, but we didn't manage to catch up with, let's say, with the full overview of the actual status of the media initiative yet. So the rest of the week is dedicated to understand where we are and set the goals for next week. And I'm pretty sure that we will also talk with Jonas about this as requested. And well, mainly I do like to ask you guys also on what would you define the scope, your opinion about what would be best to focus on next week. In general, possibly I need to explain what we are doing. So the reason why we push this, why we organize this sprint, is that we are building a platform which is an install profile based system for media company, let's say for a news website, or for news websites. And in that scope, we are sure we have requirements for using media, different kind of things like videos, images, and stuff like this. And, yeah, we are trying to set the goal right so that we have a working solution, kind of a minimalistic working solution that we are building on top of.
Yeah, so I'd probably say the first part. First off, thank you. I think organizing a sprint will be a really great thing, and thank you to you all and whoever's helping organize the sprint for getting that going. That's really fantastic. It's and great to have. I think probably the first part to get kind of in depth is probably to review the architecture plans. We're basically not porting anything straight over from Drupal 7. It's all rewrites. So I'm not sure if that throws any complications in the level of effort or kind of the who is attending the sprint at all. Just because new development just tends to be more challenging than porting modules. So I'm not sure if that's going to be an issue, but I just wanted to make sure that it got pointed out. Probably the best way to start out, and Giannis, feel free to speak in on this too, is likely the entity browser component, and really getting moving forward with that. If we can make sure we have our tasks well defined, to be able to let people start working on it, and Giannis, if you're there or able to participate and kind of help moderate and be the go-to for questions, I think that could work really well. Any thoughts on that?
Okay, sounds good. So basically what we will need is different level of tasks. So we can discuss architecture and we can start stuff there. But we will also need tasks for people that don't have too much experience, like writing tests and so on. So it would be nice to have prepare some list with some tasks that we can then assign to people so they can work on something in groups of 2 people or something, like, as I said, tests or known issues and trying to fix them, porting specific features.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is we don't have code written to write tests for yet, essentially. There are some smaller things, like we have a separate module now called Fallback Formatter, which I wrote for Drupal 7. That could be ported to Drupal 8. That's one task that we could totally would be a more easy one to work on. It's more of an advanced formatter, so that might be a little bit challenging, but I think that would be a good task to work on. But yeah, like all the entity browser stuff, like we just need code written first.
There are some tasks already created in entity browser queue. Those are like a little bit more complex, so maybe are not appropriate for somebody that looks for something that is like more simple. There is definitely things that can be done with entity embed. Maybe Chandan is currently working on test coverage for that. Maybe that's something we can work. There's also media entity that has things that can be done. Maybe we can start working on file entity for D8 or something like that. So there are plenty of things, and that's the reason why I asked Miro earlier. If there is any plan, because I agree, we probably need to figure out at least basic things that we want to focus on next week, because otherwise we can throw a week away. But there is a lot of work that needs to be done. So there are tickets created for some stuff. We could have more, but I mean we can easily work on that this week and communicate that. So we can find something for everybody to work on. And you probably know better what kind of people is coming there and have better idea what kind of tasks are appropriate for each person that comes.
I will start and start collecting tasks and issues that we can work on. We'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Legally.
How do we want to collaborate on those tasks that would be sprint appropriate? Just use a certain tag, or I mean, we've used Trello boards to kind of load in tasks for a sprint. Do you have any preferred way to collaborate on those?
Trello works for us using that tool.
Okay.
So that
Yeah, we
it's
can do
fine.
that. We can create a Trello board and
Okay.
just throw tickets in.
Okay.
Okay, I will start one then, or do you want to start something official?
I can open a Trello board because we have a Drupal Media group on Trello, and I can point you out there, and then we can start creating things.
Okay, just send me the link.
Cool. And we do also have like Drupal core issues that we could put in that as well. Those would be definitely more straightforward. So.
Yeah. Was there? Yeah. And Dave, you mentioned some core issues in the post about Amsterdam sprints, right? So we can just take the ones from there.
Yeah, I kind of had our top issues that are tagged with media initiative in core on that post. But
Yeah,
we
I
can take
can
those
I
over.
can I can bring those together in Trello board so we can have something to start, and then
Okay.
other people can add things.
It might be worth. I'm not sure if we should create a new Trello board or should we just have like an active sprint Trello board that we kind of keep going with, like stuff that isn't completed in Zurich we then can bring over to Amsterdam essentially. Is it worth creating a new one just to kind of get a fresh state, or should we just keep going with
Maybe having the general sprint board makes sense, because otherwise we will just create a new one and create
be
the
doing
same
the same thing? Yeah.
same tickets except the ones that are fixed. So
Yeah.
that should probably work.
Okay. We'll do that then. I think that sounds good.
Yeah.
Great. Is there anything that you two need from the media team to help with organization for the sprint at all, or?
Well, I guess we will be in contact with Jonas during the next days, as we started recently. Just one additional hint, possibly after the sprint or so, there is still some activity from us to the topic. I mean, the last few sprints have shown that we added some weeks where we continued to achieve our goals defined, just to make sure that it works for us. And I'm really looking forward. I mean, I guess the guys that are joining us already have, most of them have quite some experience with Drupal 8, and I would expect that we can progress pretty nicely.
Great. Cool. And like I said, I'm really excited about this sprint, so looking forward to it. But yeah, if you know, kind of the higher level people wanted to help by diving in and looking at some of the architecture documents that we have in HackPad, and providing those feedback, that would be great. And Entity Browser has a Drupal.org issue for its architecture, so since we're still kind of planning some of the other modules out. Cool. Let's see, looking through the agenda, I mentioned the HackPad workspace that we have now. I think that'll work really great. We have those open items for architecture review, Entity Browser, the embed module, what's going to replace the OEmbed module, I hope. And I put in architecture review for what would replace the media internet module, where you paste in a URL to something and it gets converted into the appropriate thing, YouTube file, whatever, as a file URL widget, so that we could use it in Entity Browser as well. So there's a proposal for that that I've been kind of working on and could use some review. It's worth mentioning our issues, our main issues of the week are still that file entities in Drupal core do not use an access controller. So there's two issues linked, drupal.org/node/2078473 and 2148353. Those are kind of some high priority ones to work on if anyone is looking for Drupal core issues to work on. And they're definitely not easy fixes either, so whoever wants a challenge can take those on.
Been working on that stuff quite some time.
Cool.
Otherwise, worked on some fun stuff.
Gotcha. All right, yeah, it's worth taking a look again. See if we can unblock it if it has any blockers. All right, anything else worth mentioning before we adjourn and I stop the broadcast? I'll call that as a no. All right, I'm going to stop the broadcast. Thank you, everyone online, for joining, and we'll see you next week.